Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's Sunday recipe. Today I am taking you back to my South African roots and I am going to share a Boboti recipe with you. This is a traditional South African dish. If you have ever been there, then I am sure you will have tried this because this is almost their signature dish. And whenever I go over to my auntie's house or to visit my family in South Africa, this is always part of the meal that they serve up. This is a really easy meal to make and it's almost like our version of cottage pie, but instead of having the potatoes on the top, you just have like a layer of egg and milk on the top and it's really, really nice. It's almost like a lighter version of our cottage pie. So the first thing I'm going to start off by doing is I'm going to set my oven. I've got a fan assisted oven. I'm going to put it on 180 degrees centigrade. For all of my ingredients, I am going to list everything down below in my description box. I'll also list the quantities. So this is a really easy meal to double up, even quadruple up, or it's easy to halve as well. It's totally up to you depending on how many people you want to feed. So once you have heated your oven, the next thing you want to do is you want to get some white bread. In here I have got 2 slices of the whitest bread you can get, and what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to get some water and I'm just going to pour the water over the top of my bread and I'm just going to let it soak until I'm ready to use it. So you just want to make sure that your water is covering all of your bread. Give it a little kind of squash down like that and then just set it to one side until you're ready for it a little later on. Right, so let's turn our hob on now. And then I have got a knob of butter here and I'm just going to let that melt for a couple of moments. Once that's melted, you then want to add in 1 diced onion and 2 garlic cloves. So I have diced that up already in my onion dicer. You know how much I love this device. I'm going to saute those off for a good 4 to 5 minutes until they're almost going a little golden brown. Right, so once your onions start to get a little bit of colour, you are then ready to add in your beef mince. So what I have got here is 500 grams of beef mince. And I'm just going to pop that in with the onions and then I'm just going to flake it up into little bits. Try and get it as fine as you can. So really I should have probably broken it up into my hands first, but I'll just let the wooden spoon do the job for me. Once your beef mince has browned, you are then ready to add in all of your spices. So what I have got here is some madras curry powder. So I'm going to just put 2 heaped teaspoons of that. I'll put in 1 teaspoon of some mixed herbs. And then I have got some ground cloves here. You can use whole cloves if you'd prefer, but I just like to use this. Otherwise someone is always going to get a clove in their meal. So I'm just going to put half a teaspoon of that in. And then I've also got some ground allspice here as well. So again, just half a teaspoon of that as well. And then I'm just going to throw in 3 or 4 bay leaves. And then the ingredient you cannot miss out is some chutney, but it has to be Mrs Balls Chutney because this is a South African chutney and it is only the very, very best chutney you can use. And this is definitely something that has to be added into your Boboti to make it as South African as possible. I like to be quite generous with my chutney, so I'm going to put in a good 2 heaped tablespoons of this. Your chutney is just going to add a really nice sweetness into your Boboti, and you are also going to add in some saltanas as well, which is again going to give this dish a really nice sweetness. So here I've got roughly 3 tablespoons of sultanas. So in they go, give everything a mix around. And it's now that I am going to get my bread and you want to just drain off all of the excess water from this. As you can see, your bread has puffed out quite a lot here. So once you've drained off the excess water, you're then going to add it in with your meat and you're just going to sort of break it down until it almost dissolves into the rest of your dish. So as you can see, I'm just going in on my bread and I'm just sort of breaking it up even more. It's so soft because it's been in the water for so long, so it's really, really easy to break up. And as you can see, this just pads your mince out a lot. So now what I'm going to do is just turn my hob down a little bit so that this can now just simmer away. I am going to put a lid on top of here because I do not want any of the liquid in here to evaporate off. So by keeping the lid on, you're just going to stop any of that liquid from leaving your pan. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes for this to simmer away nicely and it is smelling absolutely amazing, honestly. I wish you guys could smell the things I cook because they do smell really, really good. Sounds like I'm being really arrogant, but anyway. Right, so I'm just gonna break my bread up a tiny bit more and now it's ready to transfer into an oven-proof dish. So So I'm just going to pour everything into here. Then what you want to do is just get your mixture and you just want to smooth it out. So obviously if you're making a shepherd's pie or a cottage pie here, you could just leave it like this. But the whole point with the bobotie is that your egg is going to be so nice and smooth on the top, or your egg and milk mixture. So you just want to kind of push all of your meat right into the corners, make it really nice and as smooth as it can be, really. If you wanted to, you could actually make this meat mixture the day before, and then you can pop it in your fridge to kind of almost set, and then you can just add your egg on top. So if you wanted to as well, you could double, quadruple cook this as a batch, and then you could freeze some and pull it out whenever you're ready for it, and then just make up your topping as and when you are ready to serve. So this is what you kind of want your meat to look like, nice and flat on the top, because now you are going to start making your topping. So what I have got here is 300 mils of full fat milk. You want to make sure you use full fat milk. I've got 2 eggs and I've got some salt and pepper. So I'm just going to season my milk, and then I'm going to add in my 2 eggs, but I always like to break my eggs into a cup because I'm not the best egg cracker, and sometimes I get a little bit of shell in there, and I obviously don't want my shell to go into my milk. Right, now I'm just going to pop my eggs into my milk, and I'm going to beat the mixture together. Once you have done that, you are then ready to pour your egg and milk mixture over the top of your meat as the topping. And then finally, you just want to get a couple of bay leaves, lay them over the top. And you are then ready to pop this into the oven. So as we have preset our oven, it is on 180 degrees centigrade. You want to cook this for 35 to 40 minutes, or until your egg mixture has set on top. So there you have your perfectly cooked South African bobotie. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you give it a try and what you think of it, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.